Hello, welcome to the weather update. It's a little after 9:30 on April 17th, 2023, and kind of a, murky day, and then the sun sort of peeked out for a little bit. And we got dry air slowly working in. However, it's still pretty mild out there. So let's go to what we got going on in our area, and then we'll talk about the rest of the country a little bit as well. I see a small craft advisory is going to be in effect from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. For your Tuesday. And still kind of mild out there. Actually, the alley isn't that far off. We have 61 at Farmingdale. The alley is showing 63. So that's not too far off, actually. Still kind of warm out there, depending on where you are. We got 54 at Islip. And you can see the sea breezes. We have a sea breeze trying to fight to get through here. And it kept going back and forth, actually, on the South Shore. I don't know what's going on. This page looks a little messed up, doesn't it, to you? Yes, it does. Generally, we got low to mid 60s over Jersey, parts of New York City, and Nassau County. As you go into Suffolk, it's in the mid 50s as well, probably on the South Shore with the sea breeze there as well. So let's go look at what our highs were for today. And you'll see the highs were above normal. Yep, mid 60s generally across the area, near 70 in New Jersey again. And as far as rainfall goes, I'm not going to show the low because temperatures didn't really drop that much. We can look at the precipitation over 24 hours, and barely anything. Ignore that 1.15. That's not accurate. So, yeah, barely anything. Really hurting for rain here. Not too much happened on Long Island. I go to 36 hours, but still nothing. You notice Long Island has nothing at all. The amounts were all New Jersey, and not even coastal New Jersey. It was further inland. So we're still dealing with some pretty dry conditions out there as well. Showing you what the sky was like today. You can see this is in the afternoon. I was in Babylon, where when I first got there wasn't a sea breeze. It was kind of warm and humid and kind of uncomfortable. And then the breeze kicked in a little bit, and you can see here these clouds. The clouds did break up. We had this murky sky, and the clouds kind of broke up a little bit. But when they broke up, I could see some pretty sizable cumulus there. It almost looked like a sea breeze frontal boundary trying to get going here. Another picture of it there. And another picture of the sky here. Again, this kind of sky is kind of like a Florida-looking sky with the cumulus and the cirrus there together. And another look at the lake there. Always a nice place to take a walk. And then this evening, the sky. We also had, that Florida-looking sky. That's what the sky looked like this evening. Sort of see, again, some of that cumulus and cirrus there. It's kind of like the kind of sky you see in Florida almost. Really interesting to see for sure. It's, very interesting to see. That's quite interesting. Yeah, you'll notice there's some pitch pines there. Yeah, believe it or not, there's some pitch pines along the tracks in Merrick. That's right. But yeah, there you go. That's what the sky looked like. Pretty interesting. I think I got a few more in here to show you. You can see some of the colors there. Yeah, that's really nice. Nice colors there from the sunset. So, again, kind of just shows you the air mass that we're in. It's still kind of warm out there. So let's go look at our official statistics for islip here. And we'll go to the climate panel, which is a different spot at every weather service. But let's see. We'll go to islip and see if that actually loads. Because right now it seems like I have all right, here we go. So high was 64. The normal high is supposed to be 59. That's 5 degrees above normal. The low is 52. The normal low is 42. That's 10 degrees above normal. So 8 degrees above normal. Again, I mean, this is going to be one of the warmest Aprils on record. It's just insane how warm it's been. And we only get a brief cool down tomorrow, and that's it. And then we're back to at least now it's working properly. You'll see even JFK, 63. And you'll see 63 there. You see the dew point's a little lower there, 37. So we have this warm, dry air coming in. It'll eventually be cooler, dry air, because if you go back into Pennsylvania, you'll see 30s. And eventually that'll work in here by tomorrow. And there's a cold pull off that's going to keep clouds around. And because of that cold weather, it looks like we do have some frost and freeze advisories in effect for parts of the Great Lakes area. We've got red flag warnings in effect for West Texas through Oklahoma into parts of New Mexico. And it looks like over here we've got some snow, some blizzard warnings and winter storm warnings just for this little area here where this upper low is. So if we go look at the radar, you'll see here's where the snow is, just in that extreme corner there. That's it. That's where you're seeing snow. Other than that, no winter weather, just some instability showers. We won't see that tomorrow. And then going across the country, it's fairly dry. Not a whole lot going on across the country at all. Fairly dry. So let's go to the weather map here, and you'll see here, there's that cold front passed by. We got this like cut-off low, upper level low that's going to keep clouds and some instability around. So that's why we'll see some clouds tomorrow. I don't think we'll see any showers. Just some weak systems in the Pacific Northwest. Like I said, not really a whole lot going on. No severe thunderstorms either. No organized severe weather for today. Maybe some marginal risk for tomorrow, but again, fairly quiet for now. Fairly quiet, but very dry. So let's look at the models here, and you'll see here. There's that upper level low. Progressive east, you see the northwest wind and the isobars here. Be a little breezy tomorrow. We may have to worry about some wildfires again because we hardly got any rain, and now we got breezy, dry conditions. So we have that fire danger. I think that's going to be back tomorrow. Wednesday, the winds let up a little bit. So I think the higher risk will be for tomorrow. And you'll notice that weaker high pressure build in, but you'll notice that westerly flow there. That's going to bring in the warm weather. Our next chance of rain will be, yeah, you guessed it, for the weekend. Probably not so much Saturday now because we still have that high, that ridge, that Atlantic ridge in place. It's probably going to keep us warm and a little bit on the humid side. But then when this cold front comes through, it could be a low riding along it for Sunday, and that could possibly bring us a rainy day on Sunday, and that could bring us possibly some much-needed rain. And it looks like the front kind of, look at what it does over here. It forms a low and then pivots some more precipitation, kind of have a cutoff low next week, and kind of gloomy weather for next week if that pans out. Of course, that's a ways away, but again, it's been unusually dry this April, and that's not good for wildfires, and it's also, believe it or not, because it's been dry, if you're not getting the fires, then it's going to make the southern pine beetle problem worse because, less rain weakens the trees, and that could also lead to beetle spread too. There's several factors that we have to be concerned about with that. If a fire happens, it's better than no fire, because if the fire doesn't happen, then the beetles are going to come, and the pines can bounce back from fire. They can't bounce back from those horrible southern pine beetle outbreaks. So let's take a look at the HRRR model here, 0Z Renovet, and I don't think there's going to be much of any precipitation tomorrow at all. We'll just see those clouds, and then the high pressure builds in for Wednesday. We'll see more sunshine. So let's look at your dew points and wind flow, and you'll see drier air moves in tonight. We'll have the dew points dropping. I still got to have the air conditioner on because it's still kind of warm here. Once the temperatures drop into the 50s, I need it in the 50s for me to shut it off here. Anyway, you'll see tomorrow breezy conditions. That's the concern. Low dew points. You'll see that the winds drop off a bit tomorrow night. We still have that northwest wind, and here we go on the Wednesday. Still seeing the west wind there, and it's still a decent amount of breeze. Not as high as it will be tomorrow, but still, it's again the fire danger is definitely something we may. I won't be surprised. It's still not. They've been very conservative. We're only in the D1 abnormally dry stage. I guess that's probably why, but I still think there's a high wildfire risk, especially when you go to the Pine Barrens site. So here's something very interesting. So here are the temperatures, and you'll notice Long Island's generally in the upper 50s, but you notice Jersey south of Ocean County, where there's probably going to be more sun and less clouds. You'll see them getting well into the 60s, if not close to 70. All right, so tomorrow is the 1 day below normal. We'll have to see how much we drop. I don't think we're going to drop back that much tonight, but tomorrow night we could see 30s and perhaps even colder than that if we get that radiational cooling. And then for Wednesday, we'll see those warmer temperatures. Again, this is all I've got of the HRRR, but we'll probably be seeing 60s. Again, that's as far as it goes. The other thing I want to do before I leave this model here is to look at the soundings for tomorrow, and you'll see the clouds. That's your cloud deck right there. It's going to be mostly stratocumulus type clouds, and you'll probably also see it in Ocean County as well. Not quite as much there. Southern Ocean down, especially down to the southern tip of Jersey, you won't see as many clouds tomorrow, and you might see some mostly sunny skies. But the rest of us will be dealing with more clouds. Wednesday definitely looks better. If we look at Wednesday, you'll see here that, yeah, this looks pretty good. These are pretty far apart. So let's go to the GFS now, and we'll take this along a little further. You see the GFS is showing generally low 60s for your Wednesday. So close to normal. A little bit below normal tomorrow, close to normal on Wednesday, but then we go above normal. As you get to Thursday, you'll see that west-southwest wind set up, and you'll see questionable whether we'll see a sea breeze or not. It almost looks like it's trying to have a backdoor front or some type of something over eastern Long Island, perhaps. But you'll see a west wind for at least Jersey and maybe Nassau County. And then the air's still fairly dry. Then you'll notice the moisture levels ramp up a little bit as we get to Friday, though. It's showing a weak southerly flow. So that would indicate there would be a sea breeze, which could keep Long Island from seeing 80, at least ice slip. But for Mineola, it's still possible we could hit 80 degrees. And then Saturday, we continue to see that southerly flow. And then as we get into Sunday, that's when we get that real moisture advection with that slow-moving front that could bring us some heavy rain. All right. So let's go now look at our temperatures as we go into Wednesday. And then you notice it won't cool off that much. And then here we are Thursday, and it's showing possibly 75 to 80 in Jersey. GFS seems to think Long Island will get a decent sea breeze, and we'll only have temperatures hitting the low to mid-70s with sea breezes on the South Shore. Friday, it's a little bit warmer, maybe upper 70s on the North Shore to near 80. Elsewhere, 70s in the South Shore, probably 60s, but you're going to be baking in the 80s in Jersey and possibly to New York City as well. Then Saturday, we see a similar setup, still very warm, well above normal. And then as we get to Sunday, we finally slowly push that heat away with this front that may wind up stalling. That's like a while away, and we don't know. We're not sure exactly what's going to happen with that, but it's looking like maybe we might get into an unsettled pattern, which kind of sucks, but we've been abnormally dry at the same time. So let's look at that. Let's look at that storm that the GFS is showing. And again, this is next week, so let's see how much rain it's bringing. It looks like it brings a decent amount of rain. So let's see, total accumulated precip. Let's see what we got here. So it's bringing an inch of rain. But if we run this through, you'll see it'll bring a little more rain as the last, throughout April. Still a little dry, so I think I think we're going to see below normal precipitation this month. That's what it's looking like right now. So let's go to the skies next. All right, back this to over here. So obviously tomorrow GFS is showing plenty of clouds. Wednesday, it's showing some clouds to the over Long Island to the north, less to the south. As we go into Thursday, you'll start seeing that cirrus coming in again with that warm air advection, probably kind of a junky sky. And again, this may be overdone, but it looks like Wednesday would have the best skies, and obviously by the weekend, we deal with a little bit of that unsettled weather, which is trying to clear it out a little bit on Monday. So it'll have to depend on how far that front gets, and I mean, it seems like it forms a low and then backs it up. It's really weird. I've never seen that before. That probably won't happen because it's not something that normally does happen. So Sunday's really going to be your best shot of rain. Let's go to the RGM, which is a better model to use for the skies. Definitely better resolution. So here you go for tomorrow. You see all the clouds that will develop over us tomorrow. Generally cumulus, stratocumulus type clouds. They clear out at night. For Wednesday, we're mostly sunny. And then for Thursday, that's when we'll have to watch out possibly for some very scattered cirrus around. It looks like very scattered for Thursday. And then as far as it goes, as you go into Friday, it's not really going to go any further than that. At least we'll have some dry weather this week, but we kind of do need some rain. And I don't normally look at other models, but we will go ahead and see how far ahead they go here as far as the next storm system goes. That's not going to go far enough. And the European, which I don't look at all, it's really a waste of time to look at the European, but we'll go ahead and look at the European for next week's system as well. And it's pretty much an agreement, and it does something similar to the GFS with that, forming that low offshore. So, we'll have to see what happens with that. But still, even if you look at the European model and you look at total accumulated precip, it's a little bit better. It has a little more like a 2-inch stripe over the middle of Suffolk County there, but we could use some rain. We really need to use some rain. Like I said, it's been very dry, and I think we're going to see more fires this week, given the conditions. So that's going to be it for this weather update. Have a good night. Thank you for watching.